Now on CoastTV News.
Former Delaware Governor Mike Castle dies at 86. A look at his decades-long political career.
Land with a plan. The discount chain Dollar General looking to add another Milford location. Right there.
Maryland legislators serving their state, one serving at a time, the message they're trying to send.
Arson in Salisbury, why the accused assailant might surprise you.
And it's been a steamy day on Delmarva. We're seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms beginning to develop across the peninsula. I'll let you know when they clear out, how the weekend's shaping up, and the latest on Tropical Storm Erin coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Former Delaware governor and longtime U.S. Congressman Mike Castle has passed away. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with breaking news of Castle's passing.
Mike Castle's political career began in 1966 as a Delaware state representative. Castle later served as state senator, lieutenant governor, a two-term governor, and 9 terms as U.S. congressman. Castle was a moderate Republican. Welfare reform was one of his biggest accomplishments. He also had a big passion for U.S. currency. Castle actually paved the way for many of the commemorative coins still in circulation. To this day, Castle is the last Republican to serve as governor or as in Delaware's congressional delegation. We'll have much more on Castle coming up tonight on CoastTV News at 6. He was 86 years old.
And for more on Mike Castle's legacy and how he's being remembered across the state, we have a full article right now on CoastTV.com.
Dollar General is looking to add a store on 2 acres of land on South Rehoboth Boulevard in Milford. Joining us live there is CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken. Emma, today's city meeting created another obstacle in that plan.
Maddie, I'm standing where a new Dollar General could be built. Today, the parking part of this plan was up for debate, and the Board of Adjustment denied the developer's request to reduce the number of parking spots.
It's the convenience, the low prices, the overall selection. That and its location in a plaza brings some Milford locals like Carl Breifogel to a Dollar General.
It's a benefit to all the handicapped people around here. I mean, you see them over there, and I guarantee if you sit here, you'll see 20 of them all day.
Now Dollar General wants to add another store to Milford, this one down the road off of South Rehoboth Boulevard. Richard Warner, who lives just across the street from the proposed site, says no thanks.
I don't think it'll look good because, I mean, we've got the golf course, which is all nice and everything. It fits the neighborhood, and a Dollar General with a big parking lot just isn't going to fit the neighborhood. It's not going to look proper.
And it might not look like anything at all if the project doesn't get certain approvals. At Thursday's Board of Adjustment meeting, officials denied the developer's request to reduce the number of parking spaces from 54 to 48. 54 is what's required by city code.
I'm hoping that it makes them go, well, we're just going to find another place to build it. But they might build it to code. I don't know.
No matter where Dollar General decides to park their next shop, there's sure to be debate between those wanting to cash in on convenience and those saying, not in my backyard.
And the developer did say that building the store up to code with those 54 parking spots is possible, but that it would be more impactful to neighboring properties and the removal of trees. Reporting live here in Milford, Emma Aiken, CoastTV News.
And across the street on that same road, South Rehoboth Boulevard, Milford City Council approved a proposal for Deep Branch Park. That would include a walking and biking path, a playground, basketball, pickleball courts, all on 19 acres. But that park still needs county and state approvals.
Maryland state lawmakers are asking for an increase in minimum wage. They got together to show support for what they say is a wage that's fair for all workers in the state. CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zappé is live in Ocean City. Kevin, state lawmakers want to increase the hourly wage to $20 an hour for everybody.
Charlie, Maryland lawmakers threw on some aprons today at the Ocean City Library in the hopes of trying to get their point across. Now, according to the Maryland state website, the hourly wage for the state is $15 an hour, and for tipped workers, it is only $3.63. Organizers of One Fair Wage are advocating for an increase of $20 an hour for everyone in the state by the year 2030, saying it'll help tipped workers have their fair wage. But not everyone is on board with this idea. Maryland Delegate Wayne Hartman is against the increase, saying a higher minimum wage will make it harder for young people to enter the workforce.
My daughter was 14 years old. She started working at Candy Kitchen in Ocean City. You know, if they had to pay a 14-year-old $20 an hour, I think they would think twice before hiring, those youth.
Now, if this legislation does pass, it'll then go up to the Maryland voters in November of 2026. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what do you think? How high should Maryland's minimum wage go?
Let's take a look at the results so far. Take a look at your screen. Or not. Well, we'll hopefully get you those results at some point
We will
soon.
check back in on that later this evening. Check in at 6 for that. If you want to go vote in the poll, though, you can go to coasttv.com or use your Coast TV mobile app.
Let's go ahead and try to take a live look. There we go, into Ocean City. A much better view there as we see the ocean. As we turn it over to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono in for Paul. Just gave you a promotion, Chris.
Thanks, I appreciate that. A promotion on the fly there. Yeah, we're seeing some storms fire up along Route 113 here in Sussex County. Millsboro seeing some heavy rain through Mission, right around Cross Key Road there. So we're seeing some downpours beginning to fire up. We had another area of rain along northern Worcester County. That has since dissipated, but we're seeing these storms beginning to fire up along this front. And you can see another cell just to the west of Lowe's Crossroads there. More rain back off to the west. This is beginning to weaken. We had some brief severe thunderstorm warning there in Baltimore, but a lot of these storms are producing some localized flash flooding. That is really the main concern here over the next 3 hours as this front just kind of slides to our southeast. We have some rain-cooled spots. Gumboro 77, 77 in Delmar, but we're still holding at 89 in Bridgeville, 89 in Harrington, and 91 in Redden. So expect those storms for at least the next few hours. After we get about 9 o'clock, I think that storm threat will kind of wane, and we're looking at, yes, another mild, muggy night falling into the lower 70s with some areas of fog. Our Friday looking drier. You see that storm there in the distance from our Laurel cam. Isolated shower possible tomorrow, but we are looking at a warm weekend ahead, and the latest on Erin coming up.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. A 17-year-old is facing adult charges for an arson. This was on Grant Avenue in Salisbury, August 10th. We have images of the fire here. The fire marshal says the teen started the fire in a bedroom, and because people were home at the time of this fire, you can see the damage there. One of the charges is attempted first-degree murder. In less than 24 hours, President Trump will meet face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
In an effort to end the war in Ukraine on the eve of their summit, both leaders say they're confident that the talks can be productive, but also acknowledging they don't expect to leave Alaska with a peace deal in place. Jay Gray shows us the evening ahead of tomorrow's historic summit.
In a place known as the Last Frontier, on the eve of the Anchorage summit,
Alaska is the crossroads of the world.
A world where 5,000 miles away, Russian attacks on Ukraine have intensified ahead of ceasefire talks between President Trump and Russian President Putin. A meeting at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson with one glaring absence. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky not invited. He says he is, quote, skeptical about the summit and that Putin is bluffing to buy time, stressing nothing will move forward without a pause in the fighting.
It never made sense, this war. I want to see if I can stop the killing.
Mr. Putin today describing President Trump's peace effort as, quote, energetic and sincere. Still, both leaders downplaying the idea that it will end with a deal. The White House characterizing the meeting as a listening session. The president now saying peace will require a second summit.
The more important meeting will be the second meeting that we're having. We're going to have a meeting with President Putin, President Zelensky, myself.
But warning, there will be no second meeting if he doesn't get the answers from President Putin needed to move the peace talks forward.
Still to come, a sea turtle hurt. What exactly happened to this poor thing?
Well, we're tracking some heavy storms this evening. Those will clear out and just in time for the weekend, but the weekend will be quite hot, especially the second half of it. We'll talk more about that and the latest on the tropics in minutes.
First, Milton Mentor Mission. In this week's Coastal Connections, we show you how a Milton teacher is helping bridge language barriers in the classroom and inside homes. That's up next. Trying to find success in the classroom can be a challenge for any student, but it can be doubly hard if English isn't your first language. As Matt Pensick shows us in this week's Coastal Connections, one Milton woman is helping out Spanish-speaking students and their families as well.
So these are some of the books that we use.
At first, this may look like a typical children's book, but if you get in closer, it's much more than that. It is a useful tool designed to help parents or guardians whose first language is Spanish help their children make their way in an English-speaking society.
In this program, we use bilingual literature to help the parents learn how to establish reading routines with their children at home. We read it first in Spanish, okay, so that the parents understand what the story is about. So we'd go through and read all the pages in the Spanish section.
For 10 years, Jackie Wager has worked with families that are new to the U.S. and the language challenges they face.
It can be very stressful for the families when all they want to do is make sure their children are in school and learning and doing well.
School forms that might seem simple are not so simple if you're just learning English.
There were a lot of questions they had that you and I would understand if a notice came home or an email, whatever it might be. And the parents of my students, many of them can't read the English and don't know how to support their children. And I learned about a program that offers, with bilingual literature, instruction and resources to help parents learn how to read with their children.
The adult programs are usually in the evenings. During the day, Wager is focused on elementary school students.
We have to work very closely with the classroom teachers to make sure supports are in place for those kids to get the support that they need throughout their school day.
It was at an early age the students, and by extension their families, first started working with Wager. It's a relationship that continues beyond the elementary school years.
Many of my former students have graduated, are in studying beyond high school. I run into families at the grocery store, at Chick-fil-A, at the beach. I'm very, very fortunate and excited to see them throughout the community.
And recently, one of those former students reached out to her.
One day this spring, I got a text message from a former student, and she had a selfie with her associate's degree from Del Tech, and she says, "Mrs. Wager, I did it." And I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Degree secured. Isn't that an awesome picture? I'm so proud. I feel so blessed to have this kind of connection with my students and their families in our area.
Y después aquí al Georgetown para estudiar el inglés.
Working with two languages, the impact that she is making, that is hard to put a number to.
I love what I do, Matt. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. There have been tough times and tears shed, but I think that working with people who are so driven to succeed and develop their language skills is inspiring.
For Coastal Connections, I'm Matt Pensick.
Well, beginning to see storms fire up primarily across Sussex County as we take a live look into Laurel. You can see those ominous clouds there in the distance, that rain shaft there. Laurel, we're checking in at 82, very muggy out there. And we're going to be dealing with the scattered showers and downpours at least through about 8 o'clock this evening. And then those will come to an end. But it's going to be another muggy night falling into the lower 70s. You can see that rain heavy extending from Laurel right through Lowe's Crossroads, down from Georgetown, right along Highway 113 there through Millsboro, seeing some very heavy rain. We had one little cell kind of bubble up and everything's kind of congealed here, and this is all pushing to the southeast. We're seeing some light showers across Ocean City. Not much going on from Lewis down to Ocean View, but we'll continue to have that shower threat for the next few hours, and this is all associated with a cold front that's pushing through the area. And it's going to kind of stall out just to our south, but we do have drier air back off to the west. It's going to be pushing in throughout the day tomorrow. Still holding at a 100-degree heat index there in Seaford. Haven't seen any rain there, but we are cooling down where we do see the rain at this hour. Futurecast shows the heavy rain continuing at least for the next few hours, and then as the sun sets, we'll lose that energy, and then we'll begin to dry out through the overnight. We'll wake up to some fog tomorrow morning, and then that will give way to partly cloudy skies tomorrow. So we're at 71 to 75 overnight. Storms early, and then that patchy fog develops through the early morning of your Friday. 85 for tomorrow, 85 in Georgetown. We'll see more of an east wind, so it'll be a bit drier. 87 in Cambridge, warmer temperatures along the eastern shore. 84 in Salisbury. Can't rule out an isolated shower or storm tomorrow, but definitely not as widespread as what we're seeing this afternoon. That east wind will be with us at least through Saturday. Saturday looks fantastic. Lower to mid 80s. Humidity will be a tad lower, but then we'll bump the humidity up through Sunday. Sunday looks like the hottest day of the next 5, and then we see another little dip in the humidity behind the front on Monday. So the weekend looking really nice altogether. 83 on Saturday. The hottest day will be Sunday, and then that cold front pushes through late Sunday through Monday, and that could spawn an isolated shower. Well, here's the latest on Tropical Storm Erin. The latest advisory just coming out at 5 o'clock. On the cusp of being a hurricane, we're at 60-mile-an-hour sustained winds. Expected to be a hurricane by Friday, passing just to the north of the Leeward Islands as well as Puerto Rico, and then to the east of the Bahamas. And then it makes that turn north. Weather still kind of questions on how far west this storm is going to go, but one thing is for certain, we're going to definitely be seeing some dangerous surf and rip currents breaking out along the Delmarva coast middle to the late part of next week. We do cool down, though. Look at those temperatures next week. Lower 80s under partly cloudy skies.
Thank you, Chris. DelDOT announces toll increase are effective 12 a.m. on Friday, August 15th. That's tomorrow. Prices will vary. For example, if you have a Delaware Easy Pass from Dover to Christiana on Route 1, that's going to go up $1 on weekdays or $2 on weekends. But for an out-of-state Easy Pass or with cash, weekends will go from $6 to $12. DelDOT is offering a free Easy Pass transponder through August 31st when you open a new Easy Pass Delaware account. And it is time now to take a look at that poll we tried to check in with earlier. We want to know, how high should Maryland's minimum wage go?
Let's take a look at the results so far. Take a look at your screen. 53% say $15 an hour, which is what it currently is. 34% say $18 an hour. 11% say $20 an hour, and 2% want it more than $20 an hour.
If you haven't voted yet, you can still do that online. Go to CoastTV.com or use that mobile app.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 7:30, a replay of Maryland High School baseball, the playoff game between Snow Hill and Colonel Richardson, then the final score at 10:30.
And coming up, a sea turtle hit. The warning environmentalists are sounding. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5. Warning from marine environmentalists after a sea turtle was hit. A green sea turtle was hit by a boat propeller, according to MER, and MER says the turtle was dead when they found it. They say of its 34 responses so far this year, 50% of the deaths and injuries, they're caused by boat propeller strikes.
Airbnb is introducing a new feature that allows travelers to reserve some stays without paying up front. Named Reserve Now, Pay Later, the new feature is available to U.S. customers for eligible domestic stays. You use the feature for listings with a flexible or moderate cancellation policy. The full rental amount isn't due until shortly before the end of the listing's free cancellation period. Host cancellation policies don't change. No credit check is required. Airbnb hopes the feature will spark more reservations for U.S.-based hosts.
And now here's a live look in the Dover area. One more check of the forecast coming up after the break. Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, remembering Mike Castle. More on Delaware's politician legacy.
Well, we're continuing to track a thunderstorm on the southern part of Sussex County. You can see that heavy rain extended from Laurel through Westwoods, just south of Georgetown. Pretty rainy afternoon drive there down Route 113, and this heavy rain is going to continue pushing to the southeast into Fenwick Island, Ocean City over the next half hour. Expect some locally heavy rainfall as well as the threat of some gusty winds with this cell, and we'll continue to see the rain over the next few hours. Charlotte Pagaro of Milford, Delaware, you're the winner of our umbrella, and you get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert Weather Phone, sponsored by Broxton and Dallas Federico. Your 10-day forecast shows 85 for our Friday, isolated shower possible for Friday. Most of us will stay dry and pleasant, and the weekend looking very nice. 83 by Saturday. We're up to 90 on Sunday. Now, a cold front's going to be pushing through late Sunday through Monday, and look at those temperatures next week. Lower 80s, but keep a close eye on Thursday, though. We could be dealing with some really dangerous surf, all thanks to Tropical Storm Erin.
All right. Thank you, Chris, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.